In this video, we're going to go over what a Python virtual environment is, why they're so useful, and how to use them. There are chapter markers down in the description, as well as an article that contains all the commands that I'm using. So let's get to it. So what is a Python virtual environment? It is a directory on your computer that you set up so that you can install and use specific versions of Python packages for a project. Why would you want to use it? Well, Python virtual environments are very useful in several different situations. So let's say you're working on two different projects at once. One requires NumPy version 1.9 and another requires NumPy version 2.0. If you're just using the installed packages on your computer, then whenever you want to switch between the two projects, you're going to have to uninstall one of the package's versions and then install the other version. And that gets really messy. Python virtual environments allows you to get around this by just being able to switch between the two different versions. Another situation is, let's say you're working on a project and a new major version of a package that you are using is released, and you want to move on to that new version. Well, a lot of times you'll want to test it out first before you just go on and move to it. And Python virtual environments allows you to do this really, really easily. And lastly, Python virtual environments are just nice in that you can have everything that you need for a project in a single directory. So let's create a virtual environment. We're going to create one using the following command. It's going to be python 3 -m venv, and we're going to name the virtual environment .venv. This is a common name for virtual environments. So we hit enter. And we can see here that it created the .venv directory. And so let's say we wanted to activate that virtual environment. If we're on Linux or Mac, the way that we do this is that we run the source command. So it's going to be source and then .venv/bin/activate. And then, as you can see here, we are in the virtual environment. So it puts this .venv in parentheses here. And so, yeah, we're in the virtual environment. As for Windows, creating a Python virtual environment is the exact same command. So it's python -m venv.venv. And you can see it created the .venv. So let's say we want to activate it. It's going to be .venv/scripts/activate. And you can see that we are in the virtual environment. And then to leave a virtual environment, it's the same for Windows as it is for Linux and Mac. It is just the deactivate command. And we're out. So you're in your virtual environment, you want to start doing things. So first, let's see what packages are installed in this virtual environment. So we're going to run pip list. And you can see here, we don't have much installed. We have pip 9.0.1, package resources 0.0.0, and setup tools 39.0.1. This is the basic stuff, the boilerplate stuff that gets installed. It can be useful to make sure that you're on the latest version of pip. I run into some issues when I'm not on the latest version of pip, so I'm just going to do a quick upgrade. So we're going to do a pip install --upgrade pip. Cool, now we're on the latest version of pip. Let's say we wanted to install a package. So let's go with the NumPy package. So we're going to do pip install numpy. Great. It says that it is installed. So what we're going to do next is we're going to show that it is installed. So we're going to run again pip list. Now, as you can see here, we have NumPy version 1.19.5 installed. And let's show that it's actually coming into Python. So if we run Python, we can import NumPy. NumPy. Great, and it's there. So we know how to create a virtual environment. We know how to get into it, install some things, list what's in there, and get out of it. But let's say we wanted to share what we have in our environment. So let's say we're working on a project, we want to share it with a friend. Or let's say that you're going to be getting a project from a friend and you want to know what requirements, what packages that it is going to need. So pip can help us with both those two situations as well. So let's go with the first situation, and let's say that you wanted to share a project with a friend. And so you wanted to share what packages you actually need to be able to run your code. And so we're going to be using the pip freeze command. If we X out of the Python and we do a pip freeze, and then we redirect it out to requirements.txt. And let's just show what's in requirements.txt. So that's what's in requirements.txt. So this file that we have created is something that pip can use to install packages for a virtual environment. And it's a great way of sharing those package requirements with other developers that want to use your code. So I'm going to go create a new virtual environment, and we're going to use that same requirements.txt to install the packages that we have for the current environment that we're in. So the current environment has NumPy 1.19.5 as well as package resources 0.0.0. So first I'm going to deactivate to get out of the virtual environment that I'm in. And then we are going to create a new virtual environment. So we're going to do Python -m venv.venv2. And so I'm doing this just to show, just to simulate what it would be like if your friend was getting this requirements.txt file. So they create their own virtual environment. In this case, I'm doing .venv2. It should be Python 3.venv2. Okay, so we've created that. You can see it here. And so let's activate the virtual environment for .venv2. So we're going to do source .venv2/bin/activate. Great. You can see we're in the .venv2 environment. It's clear so we can get more space. And let's show what's in here to show that it's basically empty. Yeah, you can see here that it's empty for all intents and purposes. So let's use that requirements.txt file to initialize this environment. So what we're going to do is we're going to do pip install -r requirements.txt. And there, it's installed. So if we do a pip list, we can see that the same version of NumPy is installed. And then just to prove that Python actually sees it, we're just going to run Python and we're going to import NumPy. And there, NumPy successfully imports. Thank you for watching. If you got some value out of this video, consider hitting the like button. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider subscribing. And if you want to suggest an idea for what my next video could be, feel free to pop that in the comments. I'm always open for new ideas for videos to make. And like all software made for movies, we test in production. See ya.